and welcome back to another guest episode of Straight from the Draft. I am so excited today to be joined by Miss Gina Buckle.
Hello.
Of Hoot Copy fame. Thanks for being on the podcast, Gina.
No, thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited about this. It's going to be a good chat. I can feel
I
it.
don't feel like we've actually spoken outside of the DMs before.
Right, because we met, it was at small business,
Yes.
wasn't it, in Manchester. And yeah, it's been an online relationship.
Was that 2 years ago or 1 year ago?
Oh I think it was. Yeah, it was 2024. Mental.
Crazy.
Mental. Oh my word.
Crazy. For everyone who may not know you, or just as a refresh of who you are, please could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. So my business is called Hoot Copy. What I do through that business is I help brands and other businesses, mostly B2B businesses, to create copy and to create brand voices that are filled with fun, humour and personality, but doing it in a way that is authentic and something that's going to engage their target audience specifically. And no cringe. This is a cringe-free business. I'm not about helping businesses, post memes once a quarter. This is about creating something that is authentic to a business and then something that they can actually replicate consistently throughout their marketing. So yeah, I'm all about fun, humour, personality, all that fun stuff, lovely stuff.
What a spiel. That is such a good intro. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
And if you don't already follow Gina, I highly suggest you do. I will obviously leave links in the show notes to where you can find her, but your content is just my favourite. I just love it so much. You really do practice what you preach.
I do. It's ever so silly. On there. Yeah, there's so many times where I'm about to post something and I'm like, what am I doing? Is this how I should present my business? And I go, no, it absolutely is. It is. Just post it. Yeah.
Stunning. Your brand is very much around humour and fun, as you have said, and I feel like that is a really nice segue into your self-trust story for today.
Yeah.
So where do you want to start with that? Do you want to set the scene for us?
Sure. So I think it was like the start of last year. I was thinking more about how I can develop my skills as a copywriter, and particularly as a copywriter who does fun and humour. And one of the things I thought about doing was a comedy writing course. And I thought that would really develop the skills of, adding humour to something and understanding a bit more subjectively what makes things funny. And then I could bring that to my clients. And then I can't remember where I heard about it, but I basically heard someone talking about an improv course, and that scared the living daylights out of me. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, well, hang on, if I'm thinking about doing a writing course to develop these skills, I know that an improv course would also develop these skills, but I think it would do it quicker. And I don't mean that in terms of like I would absorb the skills quicker. I mean that I think improv gives you more of like a knee-jerk reaction to things, whereas writing is more like you could spend lots of time over it. And also the fact that it scared me more, I think was that was a sign for me that that's probably the option that I should go for, because it was
love that
terrifying.
I was so like in awe and excited when I saw that you were doing this, when you shared it on stories for the first time, because I was just like, you are going to crush this. It's going to be like, as a third party, I was like, oh my God, I would shit my pants, but I was so in awe of you doing it.
Thank you. Don't get me wrong, it was so nerve-wracking. Like, I think the first class that I went to, I was just sat in my car, I was about to leave to like go in. I was like, what am I doing? Who signed me up to this? How did I get here? And I was so nervous about doing it, but I just had to trust myself and trust that, the rationale for why I made this decision, and also trust that whatever was going to happen in that room, whatever they were going to throw at me, I would be able to cope. And like, also the stakes aren't really that high. It's improv, it's messing around in a room with people I don't know. It's not like a life or death situation. It's very low stakes. So that definitely helped to calm me down. But yeah, now like I finished that one course, the beginner's course. I went back for the continuing course. I then went and did a stand-up course. And now I'm part of like an improv troupe. We do performances every month together. We do rehearsals every couple of weeks. And I do stand-up comedy pretty regularly now as well. I've got a gig tonight, one next month. So it's just something that like I didn't realize how much it was going to change my life. And that sounds really corny, like improv has changed my life. But it's just, if I knew that all of this was waiting on the other side of like that fear, I would have done it months ago, like months sooner than I actually did.
It's amazing, and I think it's practicing what you preach to crazy levels. But it's a funny one, this, because I think when I've asked people to think about like a moment of self-trust, I guess the story of like first going for this improv class has come up, and that's what you're talking about. But when you're doing stand-up and these improv, like every single time you do that, that is a whole self-trust exercise, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I guess it's kind of, in a weird way, I feel like improv is easier because you can't prepare. Like there's there's no point preparing. Like you can rehearse the different formats, the different games, but there's nothing you can do really. So instead of feeling like you have to know the content, what you then have to sharpen and like focus on is that trust in yourself, and knowing that like of all the situations, of all the scenes I've been in, of all the games I've done before, like it's been fine. Like I haven't completely flopped. People have laughed. It's not been a complete disaster. But especially when you're starting out, when you don't have that bank of like evidence that you can do it, it is really scary. But like you're up there, it's going to happen. People are looking at you, so you got to say something. You just figure it out. You just do it.
I think this is one thing that has come up a couple of times in conversations around like self-trust is having that bank of evidence. And
yes.
I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Please tell me what has been the reality of this for you. But having so much self-trust built up with the stand-up and the improv, have you seen the effects of how you then show up in other areas of life? Like not just in business, but just generally?
100%. 100%. Like I just know I can do it. Like that's not a question anymore. It's not a question. Like if I'm really busy with work and I've got lots of stuff on and lots of deadlines to meet, I'm just like, well, it'll get done. There's no point panicking about it because it will just happen. I know it will. And that's with situations that I'm able to like prepare for and plan in advance for. So it just, it really like, it pales in comparison to being like on a stage in front of people, not knowing what you're going to say next. Yeah, it really is. It really is. And it's just, I just know I can do it. And that's affected, so many parts of my work, not just like public speaking. Like the idea, like I was doing public speaking and, events and things like that all of last year. Still a little bit nervous when I did it, and I do a lot of prep and practice, and I still do now. But now I'm just not nervous about it because it's like, you mean I get to look at what I'm going to do beforehand? Yeah, fine. No problem. No stress.
There's a Q&A at the end. I can handle that.
Give me a non-geographic location. I'll roll with it. It's just, I honestly think it's like the best bit of CPD that anybody could ever do. Even if you're not looking to improve like your comedy writing or your live comedy skills, I think there's just so many other parts of like my self-development that it's just like streamlined and kicked into overdrive. It's amazing.
And how long? You've not been doing it that long, but it's been transformational by the sounds of it.
So I did the first course in like May, maybe June.
Wow. Yeah, so like halfway through last year as well. It wasn't just like...
But it just, I don't know, like once I had started to meet different people who were doing improv as well. And like one thing I didn't realise, I'm based in Leeds. There is a huge comedy scene here in Leeds. There's so much happening all the time. Like not just, headline acts you see on Live at the Apollo come to First Direct Arena. Like almost every day of the week there will be something happening. And then once you start meeting those people go, oh, well, do you want to try this? Do you want to come and do improv with us? Do you want to do this show? And just go, yeah, I'd love to. And it makes it so much easier to say yes to those kinds of opportunities when you trust that you'll just be able to do it. Like, you just know you'll do a good job. So yeah, it's just been a huge like snowball effect of like, yeah, I can do that, and it all started with improv.
Something that sounds like it would absolutely shit up your nervous system. It sounds like it's just, in the end, been the most calming thing.
Yeah, it really has. That's such a good way to like define it. Yeah, I really think like it's just changed my life. And I also know how ironic it is to be like, I'm that person that does improv. Like, I know how people think of improv. When I say to my friends, like, hi, do you want to come to my improv show? It's on the upstairs of a pub. It's free. But I think another thing that it does is it's just cured my like fear of looking like a fool. You know, like I don't, because that's sort of the point, really. I kind of want to look like an idiot. And yeah, I think, have you ever read, I can't remember the name of the book now. It's something like Why Stress is Good for You.
No, I haven't.
Never heard of that. I mean, I haven't really given you the full title, so it's not, I can't really ask you. Have you heard of this title that I don't remember? And it talks about why things like stressful situations and adrenaline are actually really good for you, and how they sharpen you and make you better. Like, you've got those chemicals rushing around your body, and you actually need those to do the best job possible. And I remember, like, we were driving down to like the graduation show that I was doing after this improv course. My boyfriend was driving me, and I was like, "What? Why have I done this? Why?" I was so nervous, and then I just remembered, like, no, I'm not nervous. I'm excited. The nerves that I'm feeling right now are things that I can use to actually just make me better at what I'm about to do. If I wasn't nervous, it would be shit. So yeah, it's that. Yeah, that way of looking at things as well. It's just really shaped how I approach like scary situations.
Yeah. And I know we are talking about stand-up and improv here, but there's going to be so, like, it's just such a great metaphor for everything. So there's going to be so many little things that you've said, like so many fantastic sound bites for people to take away and be like, yes, I'm not nervous, I'm excited. I need to use those nerves to make me better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when I'm not nervous, that's when I get nervous, because I'm like, well, I want to be a bit nervous. I think it just...
Have I stopped caring?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, it shows that you care about it if you're nervous. Yeah, it's just, improv. If anybody is listening to this thinking that sounds really cool and that's something that they've always wanted to do, but for some reason they just never got around to it, just do it. Just sign up. Just make that first step. Find a course near you. Go to see a show. See if you like it. Just do it.
I'm absolutely going to have to get over to Leeds and watch something one time, because I cackle at your stuff on Instagram.
Oh,
and
thank you.
Yeah, I would. Any more Gina, please, is what I need in my life.
Thanks, thank you.
Do you feel like doing the stuff online helped at all? Maybe more with the stand-up, because I guess that's planned. But like, had you kind of already got a bit of reassurance that you are funny?
I mean, I guess it did help. Like, I haven't started a business about humour and fun without somebody at some point saying, you are quite funny, actually. So I guess going into the improv course, I was like, I know I can make people laugh. Let's just see if we can make that better. But yeah, doing the content, it really, it's just, I guess, like, that's just another area where I've really had to develop my self-trust as well. And some of the videos I'll script them and I'll do a bit of a plan, and then some of them I'll be like, right, I'm just going to pop my wig on and see what, like, this is what I kind of want to say overall. I'm just going to see what comes out. But the only way that I have got good at that and got to the point where, you know, creating video content isn't really something I worry about now is because I've just done so much of it. Like, I was talking to someone about this the other day. The first couple of reels I made for Hoot Copy, I've still got like the edited, like the dump footage somewhere in my phone. It's literally just me sat looking out the window, and I know what's going through my head. I'm like, I don't know what to say. I've got nothing to say, and I'll start saying something, and I'll go, okay, so what you need to know about this, and then I just tail off because I'm like, no, that's shit. I don't want to say that. But it's, and it would take me like way, like longer than I had planned to film these videos, because I was like, I feel weird. I feel like it's coming across strange. Like I don't know what to say. I don't know how to frame it. I feel like I need a hook. And I think that's another thing that stops a lot of people from, showing up online and just having a bit of fun, is they feel like it needs to fit into like a formula or a template, or like it needs to have an engaging hook at the start, or it needs to do this, or it needs to have a call to action. Like, yeah, maybe, but also not really. Like if more than anything, it just needs to capture what you want to say.
Yeah. I think you can, I've always said this, this phrase came up, I think, on my last guest episode, actually.
Oh.
Woo curious, is that what we called it? So I'm not fully woo-woo, but,
Right.
I dabble.
Yeah.
This is harmless, isn't it? And yeah, I share a lot, actually, or at least I used to talk about this probably more. Like with my clients, I always try and push them to do stuff that I think will work and I think that they'd be great at, even if they're a bit like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I think that you can tell with the energy of something. So like if they're absolutely not, that is not a bit of me, or, I'm not going to make them do styles of content that don't suit them. So, I probably won't suggest that my clients create characters and wear wigs, because that's not them. As much as I love that content from you, it makes sense from you.
Right.
And I feel like, yeah, you can kind of tell, especially with when you're talking to the camera, if you are in your head going, I hate this, shit, I don't know what I'm saying, this is not me. It does come across, and I think that makes such a big difference on how it lands. So like, yes, the hooks and whatever can help you to an extent, but if it's something that you really hate, a great hook is not going to save it.
No. Oh no. Yeah. And it's like, I think that's such an important point, and what you do with your clients, it's about finding what's authentic to them and what's right for them. Because social media, like it can be so performative, and it can just be so like, everyone's trying to please the algorithm, everyone's trying to like jump on the trend or use the right sound or whatever. But like you say, you can just tell, you can feel it in the content when somebody's just like, oh, I don't actually like this, don't really want to do this or be here. So yeah, it's got to be something, not always something you want to do, because I think you've got to expand your comfort zone. But yeah, like you say, it's finding that balance between like, am I just not wanting to do this because it's a bit scary, or am I not wanting to do this because it's actually not right for me and who I am?
It's like what you said, even with your stuff, you're a naturally funny person. You've now create quite happily, but that didn't just happen on day one. You've got to practice that. And I think it's probably, that's what people need to remember when they see content like yours or anything really that they think, oh, they've really got that nailed. It comes from doing it once and then doing it 100 times.
Absolutely. I think another thing that puts people off is like, how like friends and family will react, and people who aren't clients and aren't in like the business world will react when they see their like videos, or they're trying to promote themselves or something. I was having a conversation with someone about this the other day, because they want to get into like content and content creation, and they were saying, the big thing that's stopping me is thinking my friends will take the piss out of me, and I was like, they probably will, and you might not get that lovely like vindication moment of, yeah, you can laugh at me, but I'm making all this money, or yeah, you can laugh at me, but I'm so successful, because it won't work, it won't be successful for so long. But you just have to almost like ignore the metrics and the the views or whatever. You've just got to work out what you are actually doing this for, and stick to that and just keep going. Because I think like there are sometimes like the videos where I spend hours writing the script and editing and everything, sometimes that will get like 200 views, but that doesn't mean stop making videos.
No,
that means just try something different or try something else. And I think a lot of people, especially if they're feeling like they're putting themselves out there, they feel like the reward of that should come immediately. but it doesn't. It comes from being consistent and getting better at it and just keeping going. Just keeping going.
Very important messages here coming out of an episode that's all around like improv and stand-up. Like we're going deep. There is
It's so deep.
Women of multitudes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We try, I say we, it's me plus guests like you. Now, how exciting for this year. It's not just little old me anymore. I try to end every episode with a cheesy quote. I am a collector of cheesy quotes. So I love hearing new ones or just like everyone's random life mottos. It's not a cheesy quote, but one of my life mottos is there's always room for ice cream. So it can be as random or as, deep, impactful as you like that the spectrum exists. So do you have a life motto or cheesy quote to end today's episode with?
I do. Oh, okay. I've got like two in my head. One's slightly more serious and one's a bit more silly and fun. So I'm going to do the silly and fun one. So this advice was given to me by a family friend of mine. Her and her husband, they live in America. They are retired. She does like pottery. He does artwork.
Stunning.
They live in the woods in this beautiful house. They have like loads of adopted dogs and cats. They have a beach house. And we went to their beach house and we were in the jacuzzi. And this woman, she was drinking, what's it called? Aperol Spritz. She was having an Aperol Spritz and she went, Gina, the best revenge is good living. I was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah.
I adore that. Coming from her in that moment.
Right.
Oh, yes.
It's like, you're so correct. So yeah, the best revenge is good living. Just live well.
Beautiful advice. Well, thank you so much for everything you've shared.
No, thank you for having me.
I'm very intrigued to see how many people dabble in it. Even if it's not improv or stand-up, maybe there's something else that they've been holding off on and they just decide to go for it. And this episode will be going out. It might be early Feb. I will let you know what date it goes out, obviously, but it should be early enough in the year, hopefully, that, everyone's still thinking about making the changes. And I'm hoping you're feeling inspired after listening to Gina today.
Yeah, hopefully.
Thank you so much, Gina. And to you listening, I hope you have a gorgeous rest of your day. And I will see you next week. Bye.